Hello, and welcome to our Tween and Teen Kitchen Kit demo with the Public Library of Brookline. My name is Robin, and I'm a teen librarian at the Brookline Village Library. I'm here today to show you how to make your own pudding taste test. Is this your first Public Library of Brookline to Go program? Here's how it works. Each month, the library is offering new take-home program kits, complete with everything you need to follow along and video or written instructions created by one of your local librarians. The best part? Absolutely no due dates. You can keep everything included in your kit. Visit brklib.com to go for a full list of our current kit offerings, and follow the link to find out about all of our kits, free to pick up at any library location. Now let's get cooking. For today's kit, you're going to have 2 different packages of Jell-O instant pudding, 1 chocolate and 1 vanilla, some mini marshmallows, some graham crackers in packages, a little packet of coffee, some honey sticks, some cinnamon, and cardamom pods. You'll have 2, but you'll only need 1 to make this particular dish. You'll also need a measuring cup for 1 cup, 4 bowls that you can mix the puddings in, and a scraper or a spoon, and a whisk. You also need a 1/3 cup measure. So first you're going to want to divide up the pudding. You want to make 4 different portions of pudding rather than 2. So if you take that 1/3 cup measure and measure about 1/3, a little bit less, then you should get about half and half of the pudding mix in each bowl. So you want to end up with 2 bowls of the vanilla pudding mix and 2 bowls of the chocolate pudding mix, and that will help you make all 4 flavors that we've set up for this particular kit. So next you're going to want to mix in your flavors. So for each of the bowls you're going to need 1 cup of milk. And for 2 of the flavors you want to heat up the milk ahead of time, so heat it up until it's warm but not boiling. And then you take your cardamom pod and you smash it open so you can see that it cracks open and there are little seeds inside. And the seeds and the pod itself are what give the flavor. So then you want to steep your milk with the cardamom pod. You can use the included paper tea bag if you want to be able to easily separate the cardamom pod, or you can just throw it in there and drain the milk through a sieve. And then for the other cup of milk for your cinnamon mocha flavor, you want to add the coffee packet to that warm milk and stir it so that it's combined and completely dissolved into the milk. And with both of the milks, even though you've warmed them up, you now want to cool them down so that you can make the pudding. So go ahead and chill them for around 30 minutes in the refrigerator. For any of the puddings, for all 4, you're going to have your milk, and then you want it to be very cold so that the pudding will set properly. And you just pour that into your bowl with the pudding mix in it. And you're going to use your whisk and whisk it for 2 minutes. So it takes a little while, but as you whisk, you'll notice that it starts to set and it'll start to thicken up like you want for your pudding. It does take a little bit of arm strength, so just keep going until it looks like the consistency is what you want. And you can always store any of these puddings in the refrigerator. Now for our puddings that we're doing, the 4 different flavors, you want 1 bowl that's the plain chocolate and 1 bowl that's plain vanilla. Then for the mocha flavor, you want to add the milk that you mixed with the coffee into one of the chocolate puddings, and then mix that the same way, and you'll get a coffee and chocolate flavored pudding that way. Then you also want to add the cinnamon for this one so that it can incorporate into the mix. You can keep a little bit of cinnamon back if you'd like, just to add it on at the end for a garnish on top of the pudding so you can tell which pudding is which. but you can also just mix it all in, and then you'll have the nice cinnamon mocha flavor. And then for the cardamom, now that it's steeped in the milk, you'll discover that the milk has been strongly flavored with the cardamom. So you want to strain out the pod and the seeds. And as I said, you can also use the tea bag and just pull the tea bag out. And then you add the milk to the vanilla pudding that you had set aside, and that will make a cardamom vanilla pudding. And then next you want to add in some of the mix-ins. So grab your graham crackers, and I would smush them up while they're still inside the wrapper. It makes it easier to deal with in terms of how many you get, and you can break them up without getting crumbs everywhere. And then you want to take your plain chocolate pudding and layer a little bit into the bottom of the bowl that you want to serve the pudding from. And then you sprinkle a layer of the graham crackers on top. And then you also sprinkle the marshmallows on top, and then add another layer of chocolate pudding. Now the marshmallows inside the pudding will get soft. They're the kind of marshmallows you get in cereal, so they're kind of crunchy. And if you want to have different textures, I would make sure that you top the pudding with graham crackers and a few more marshmallows on top right before you serve it, because then you'll get the crunchiness of the graham crackers and a little bit of crunch with the marshmallows as well. You can mix it up like this, just to give it a little bit of integration into the pudding, or you can just leave it on top and let people dig in. For the fruit and honey pudding, we have included some honey sticks for you. There's a peach one, which is the one you see I'm using here, and there's also a raspberry one. And each honey stick actually adds a fairly strong fruit flavor to the pudding. It'll also make it sweeter with the honey. So you could try just one stick and see whether you like it that way and taste it. And then if you want to add another flavor or combine both flavors, then you can add the next stick as well. And in this case, you just stir it into the pudding and that'll combine, and you'll still get that peach flavor in there, as well as a little bit of the honey flavor as well. Now, if you want to set up your taste test, you can use smaller bowls than I have here. I just did 4 separate. You could do 8 if you want to give everyone a half portion. But you just want to scoop them into like a nice bowl so that it looks pretty. You may want to have a way to tell the difference between the honey one and the cardamom one. If they're both mixed, they look pretty much the same. And so I added a little bit of ground cardamom on top. If you have that spice in your cabinet, you can add a little on top. Otherwise, just keep track of the color of the bowls. And then with the coffee and chocolate flavored mocha, the cinnamon mocha, you can sprinkle a little cinnamon on top of that one. And then you've got all 4 puddings set up. So you've got the cinnamon mocha, the s'mores, the cardamom, and the fruit and honey. And then you just want to start tasting. Enjoy! Thank you all so much for cooking with us today. We would love to see what you made with your kit, so please feel free to share your project with us on social media using the hashtag BRKLIB2Go. The Tween and Teen Kit program is generously sponsored by the Library Trustees and the Friends of the Brookline Public Library.